In the upper left-hand side, the challenger from Germany and for Raptor Gaming, representing the Horde once again as probably 1 out of 2 players in the round of 8. This is Spiral. And a man who rules the European WarCraft scene with an iron fist and is not letting go ever. From Russia in the bottom right is Happy.
Man who has displayed a level of dominance that is truly mind-boggling. The fact that he can remain the unchallenged almost #1 over what has now been 4 years, 5 years, winning every big tournament, winning almost every cup. He has shown, especially the Undeads, but also many other players out there in Europe, what can be achieved with pure skill. The level of mastery that he is displaying is unbelievably hard to emulate, but he has worked on that for years, has gotten very strong at it, and is going to be starting off here with the Ted Fiend build against the Farseer head-on, of course, that we're all expecting this fight.
Okay then. DK, it is on Happy's side. This was also to be expected. Barely plays anything else these days than this. Taking quite some damage on the DK from the first creep camp. So we'll see if that will make an impact or not. Spiral also playing relatively normal. Stealing the green already away from Happy's side of the map.
A bit of an unusual creep out here by Spiral, going to the green on the other side first and then falling back to his own green. So I guess he wanted to be in position in case the DK was creeping this early, but that wasn't the case. Happy went for the bigger orange camp at the beginning, creeping, by the way, with an Acolyte. Not using it to scout, because he's pretty sure he knows what's coming, Farseer Headhunters. Just to have that little bit more damage for a little bit faster creeping. Happy min-maxing right at the beginning.
Now, creep spot approach by Spiral. Happy is already on the way. The big one is gone, but there's not too many big ones here. Can he finish this entire camp? No. Can he save all the headhunters? That's the question. Needs a good start into the game, I guess, to not fall apart immediately, but Happy with a big exclamation mark here with a block, and if he uses a coil, this headhunter might be dead soon.
Yeah, a couple more right clicks and then that's going to be a kill. One headhunter going down in the early game is absolutely fine. When it's 2, 3, 4, that's when it becomes painful. By the way, early peon moving out. Spiral trying to expand on the way to tier 2, but Happy is on point here. Plays the build that he pretty much always plays nowadays. Ted Fiend build into a Dark Ranger second is normally what we see from him against this.
Yeah, this is something that a lot of undeads around the world are picking up on. In the Americas. But Spiral already having some issues with basically skeletons. The movement by Happy here, having not only all 3 skeletons on right click, but also blocking with 1. Spiral though, answering this nicely with the blocks on his own, and he cleans this up nicely. Bought a Swiffer to do that.
Okay, that was important. You don't want to lose that second headhunter, especially not against skeletons only. That would be a bit of a psychological damage there done as well. As we see now, creeping continuing for Happy a bit. Good items for the DK, by the way. This bonus strength in the late game for damage doesn't really matter. But in the early stages, to hunt down a couple of headhunters is quite the big deal, quite the big help. As Happy moves towards the middle to the tavern as tier 2 finishes, and that looks certainly a lot like the Dark Ranger. Yes, indeed. Anya Eversong joining the battle. That means that now headhunters can keep getting pressured quite easily, and also he can creep more and more with more and more skeletons from the Black Arrow and doesn't have to invest too much more into the Ritual Dagger. I mean, the Rod of Necromancy.
Rod of Necromancy, indeed. He has 2 charges left in case he wants to scout or power creep a little bit. But yeah, he is creeping up a storm with this one. Replenishment potion consumed immediately. Whoa, Happy, thirsty boy. We know that he loves his ice cream, but didn't think that he would be into potions as well. Level 3 Farseer is a big deal because destroyers are far away, and until then, whoa! Until then we don't have any dispel, and Spiral follows this up with the Naga.
Oh, okay. We've seen that a bit recently on ladder. Still not the most popular choice. Normally it's TC or Farseer. But here we see the Naga coming out at the tavern right away. The Cold Arrow certainly is a decent help, but it doesn't give you that lockdown of Stomp or Hex. So Happy's kiting backwards, blocking for his Fiend. Chain Lightning not leading to a kill. Skeleton has scoured the expansion, but Happy now under too much pressure, really, I guess, to cancel this expansion. Or is he? Maybe he's not. The Dark Ranger is running over, and so is the DK.
Ooh, DK gets surrounded here. Instant TP. At what cost, though? DR is here. 3 skeletons are here. Nothing else. Spiral. Running back. If only he had a speed scroll here. This is close. This Dark Ranger pick. Oh, the skeletons will expire.
Skeleton's running out. Oh, wow, that was so close. If the DK arrives up here, that's a cancel. That was such a huge surround by Spiral.
Spiral also with a great block with the wolf here. Doesn't look like he hasn't played Orc for half a year.
DK is returning with the Fiend. Is he really going to commit to this? With that TP now being gone, this is a bit scary for Happy. Normally, Happy oftentimes just goes into a creeping mode, but here he tried to be aggressive, and for once, it doesn't work out. That expansion came up, but tier 3 for Happy is going to be coming in soon as well.
And then he's got to be careful. 2 new skeletons will put some more damage, a little bit of preparation. And I like Spiral's game plan here, apparently. He thinks, well, what I need is more gold than my opponent. Can he steal this? No, a little too late. Of course it is the Happy item hack back with the greater mana potion. But what I wanted to say is that Spiral has this clear game plan of needing an expansion, and he even sacrifices his second hero for that. With that Naga, he bought the time that he needed for this expo to come up, and then we'll see if this game plan was correct.
I do fear for the impact of the Naga late game. Even if you have a TC level 4, it's really hard to play against an undead triple hero if you only have tier 2 Orc. And of course, with this expansion, Spiral's going to be stuck on tier 2 this entire game. So even with a strong TC, it can be tough. Now he's going to have a Naga, which is going to fall off more and more. You don't have this powerful Stomp, you don't have the powerful Heat Wave, you don't have a strong Aura. You have Fog Lightning and Cold Arrow, which is okay, but it's not the star of the late game.
Yeah, you know me, I'm a big fan of Fog Lightning against Fiends with the 3 target max is good damage per target. But you're absolutely right. TC, Stomp, and Aura, both so good. Hex and Heal Wave, both so good. He can go for 1/3 hero. Ooh, while Happy continues the harass. He can go for 1/3 hero, but he's gonna miss out on something very, very good.
And normally what seems to make the strategy Fast Shadow so good in this matchup is that you can transition very easily into a strong tier 3 army with Tri-Hero, with Berserkers, and if ever you win a late game fight, you can just go for a tiny Great Hall, sometimes even without winning one, although that's a bit greedy. So Spiral here playing a different strategy is not following the meta. He's attacking the DK right now. He's taking some damage, but this DK is still pretty tanky. As now the Lich comes out, and now Happy is fully online. He's got the Orb and the Triple Hero, and that's when he's the most scary.
And Spiral is obviously super far away from tier 3, so Focus Fire deals with the unupgraded Headhunters really quickly, and then they turn into skeletons, and they fight against you. Coil Nova on the Raiders, you need of course a little bit of like lockdown if you don't have Stomp or Hex. Raiders provide that. Coils are there, and the big mana potion is untouched yet.
3 Raiders have died here. And Happy only needed 1 coil to heal up 1 Fiend.
Yep.
It's just such a big discrepancy right now in damage. That is the big downside of this Orc strategy. If you stay on tier 2, your DPS is just low. We see 1 Fog Lightning coming in. That was only level 1 Fog Lightning, not level 2. Alright, he's got this dust here, so he takes out another Fiend. 2 Fiend kills going his way, but Happy killed way more. Almost another headhunter there on the way out. And the thing is, if Happy levels very well, he doesn't even have to kill the Expo or counter expand. He could just play this 1 base versus 2 with a hero level and tech advantage.
Yeah. Yep, I agree. TP bought just to be safe. But he can't just break this, right? The skeleton preparation for this push was excellent. Peons, herd can be turned into more skeletons. This is so well thought out. Spiral gets a Fiend here, but he's not at his expo.
And you know, tier 2 Orc has a lot of weaknesses. But if you play tier 2 Orc without walkers, level 2 skellies are gonna be your demise. How are you ever gonna deal with these skeletons? I don't think there's a way. Even with a TC level 4, this Dark Ranger I think is gonna take totally over. Raiders are going down quickly. I think the coil actually misses. Okay, so 1 more Fiend goes down. In fact, the Fiend count is very low. But Happy's got the strong hero statues and destroyers. He doesn't even need that many fiends in.
Destroyer getting caught. There is a coil, obviously. Might be forced into the big potion soon. Kodo has eaten, and Spiral tries to run away, trying to buy time, but of course Happy is not falling for that. 2 destroyers up now. Lich has a Nova ready, so this Kodo is definitely gonna fall. And so is the soon not so great haul.
Yeah, Spiral now has been completely outscaled. Happy is fully online. In the early game, sometimes you can try to greed against Happy and get an advantage. But at some point, he's going to have tier 3, he's going to have triple hero, and that's most of the time where you lose. GG called, 1-0 for the champ.
And it feels like the expansion never really helped out Spiral here. Like, he went for it, but then he ended up taking a fight at 50 supply against an Undead, also at 50 supply, except with Lich third and Orb being there. So for me, that was the big problem. Like, the initial build order I really liked. He managed to get the expansion up, but I think he should have crept after that and tried to get like level 4-3 ideally before the fight finally happens. Not sure about going for Raiders either. I feel like maybe he should have just got Wind Riders here with this. Like, yes, there's going to be Fiends and Web, but you can just try to maybe out DPS the opponent. I mean, it might sound stupid. I'm a human player, guys. Disclaimer, I'm not an Orc player or Undeads. But yeah, I feel like maybe Headhunter and Wind Rider if you get like +1 attack. He might have been able to target down the Fiends, take him out, and then somehow won a fight. But, I mean, Happy, just so solid in this game 1 here already.
Yeah, this is also a little bit of a cheesy strat then, and Happy usually deals with Wyvern really, really well because they're so squishy. But might be a strategy for down the road, Primo.
Yeah, but I think, no, I meant like as a surprise, right? Because he hit the Raiders as well. He produced them at home and kept them there until there were 3. Imagine if he had been making Wind Riders and he gets like 3 or 4 of them and he's creeping and then he starts the engagement with like a bunch of them and there's no web, then suddenly we're looking at a very different game. But I'm sure that if he hadn't been harassing, Happy would have scouted with Skelly also and also seen it. But yeah, just trying to think of things that Spiral could have done better. I'm very sure that he should have crept instead of playing so aggressive though.
I think honestly this Naga is not the right choice. It's okay when you pick her up, you have a bit of control in the middle of the map, but she just falls off so hard. I think if you play this tier 2 expo, or this expo 2 to the way to tier 2, you're obviously going to be stuck on tier 2. There's no way you're ever going to be able to win a fight unless you have TC. I think all other heroes are just too weak. Even if you're up 15-20 supply, I don't think it matters. I think Happy's just going to out-micro you. He's going to make use of aura. You don't have the speed aura. I think without TC second, that strat is absolutely hopeless. But even with TC second, this strat is really hard to pay off to work out for you because, again, not having tier 3 is such a big weakness. The big strength of this build is you can easily creep up early, pressure the undead, and tech tier 3. I think Spiral needs to stop being cutesy and just play the standard meta, which is the much stronger build.
But is that enough, is the question. I don't know. If he doesn't take the fight in front of Happy's base when he was right at tier 3 with Lich and Orb, I think the follow-up moments can be better for Spiral, and then his expansion might be working better. But this is a lot of speculation, obviously. Fact is, Happy is a monster and pretty much destroyed Spiral on game 1. Let's see if this continues this way, or that now that we go to Northern Isles, Spiral has a different approach and a different strat prepared. He kind of needs a little bit of support, so let's see if he gets that here on map 2. Spiral in the red, bottom left, and Happy once again 2 maps away from the semi-final, still undefeated in this tournament in yellow upper right.
Going again for the same opening build. Happy was experimenting a lot with how to counter this style. Tried with fast fiends, tried with Ted fiends with Lich, tried with ghoul openings as well. None of them really worked out too well. Seems like here now he has landed on his preferred build, the Ted fiends with a Dark Ranger second, which definitely covers a lot of options quite well. And of course, also Spiral with a Farseer Headhunter build. Once again, on this map, it's not going to be that easy to creep up the Farseer to level 3 so quickly. That is normally a big power spike in the early mid-game stages. But here on this map, unless he can steal something away like the natural on Happy's side, might not be so easy to do.
I hope Spiral is not getting triggered from this one strategy on his map failing. He has a very strong orc, of course. I hope he plays himself into a little bit of a rhythm. Can just accept that this one map is now gone, but hey, let's restart the series. Let's try to get this one map and then play the series from there. That's what he needs, not to tilt into any direction early on because he made 1 or 2 mistakes in game number 1. He has to play his absolute very best and then a little bit extra to have a chance here. But he was close before. So let's see if he can recreate this magic. Farseer, Headhunter, Happy scouting this time. And creeping with the DK and Skellies.
After that last hit would be nice. Every bit of experience matters, but of course Happy denies that one. Farseer could steal the consumable item away here, possibly. And this is something that the Farseer can do fairly well on this map. Start pressuring before the DK crept the first 2 green camps. And if the Death Knight is forced to not have aura for a long time, that can make trading very hard for the Undead.
Sentry Wards gives him a lot of vision there as well. Might be able to skip dust because of it later on. And here we have the first Headhunter. Don't lose these Headhunters early. It's cool that you try to steal some cheese of the bread in Happy's half of the map, but be a little careful.
A player's forces are under attack.
Happy doesn't really mind if his opponent is around or not.
If Farseer steals his last hit, this would be huge, but Happy not allowing it, secures it with the right click. Good items for him, mantle and gloves. Gonna be much appreciated for the Lich. And there we go. Just wants to get that level 2, wants to get that aura, which makes a huge difference. Also with that aura, now the Headhunter's gonna have to be more careful. If they're caught out of position and a block comes in, that could be some Headhunters going down once again.
Yeah, can't risk that. I like it. Sentry Ward may be a little obvious in the middle of the map, but maybe not. Maybe he just gets the vision. Happy scouts for some movement in the south. And Spiral is dodging Happy in the middle, trying to steal the consumable away. And that's an approach that many of Happy's opponents have already done in the past. An X-Lord, a Foggy, steal the big consumables away because with that, Happy is unbeatable in a fight. And it is, of course, Happy side of the map, so it's obviously a greater mana, so good pickup.
It's gonna get the level 2 here as well, gonna get a little bit closer to level 3. But now the reinforcing Headhunters have to be very careful. In fact, this one is definitely dead. Gonna be run down. Happy gonna take one pick off here in the early game again. Once more, 1 Headhunter kill. Not the end of the world, but you wanna leave it at 1.
Have to, but the skeleton is scouting another Headhunter moving out. Spiral fixes that rally point immediately. Quick reaction for the German. I like it. And tier 2 is about to be ready for both of the players. Happy is already there. Goes for the Dark Ranger again.
And with that, it's gonna have quite a bit more damage. Should be coming in right away. Even denying the skeleton. Alrighty.
For the third or
There's still a
fourth
green camp
time
right
already.
here. With the 4 Murlocs over there, Happy could quickly get 4 skeletons. Oh, and he catches the Headhunters in a bad position. They're running away from the main, getting chased with the aura. It's gonna be at least 1 more, probably more, at least like 2 more kills.
Uh-oh, the Fiend can just block. Is that the beginning of the end? Will he block both at the same time? No, kills the first one.
Such a disaster, dude. It's so bad. That is 4 Headhunters lost in the early game.
You know, he could have played for the art of Warcraft, you know, for the highlight reels and block both Headhunters with both Fiends at the same time and finish them with Dark Ranger and DK. I'm a little disappointed he went for the easy route.
Yeah. Such a disappointing player, really. Like,
He's a little washed.
Happy. How can you play this so poorly? A shame. Yeah, 4 Headhunter kills in the early game. That is absolutely huge. While tier 3 is coming in. And Happy's transitioning greatly here into the late game. The big strength of the strategy for Farseer Headhunters, of course, you can pressure very early, you can trade HB very efficiently early on, but you have to stay together as a unit. Ideally prevent DK level 2, that didn't quite happen, but stay together and then trade well. But if you're getting separated, if things are all over the place, then these Headhunters can go down quickly, and Spiral's movement, not quite as cohesive as it should be.
He's going for a little bit of a gimmicky strat, I believe. Not 100% sure what's this is gonna be, but it's either Mass Wyvern, as Todd suggested, or a strategy that worked in the past against Happy here and there is Raider drops with a Zeppelin. And that's exactly what we see. That's why it's opening the lab this early. That's why he has a double beastry. It's not taking to tier 3. That's gonna be lame.
Alright, you know, I don't mind it. It is one way to cheese a win out of Happy. However, he has gotten really, really good at dealing with cheese. But the question is, when's Happy gonna scout this? Well, he just did. He sent a skeleton into the main. He saw the double beastry. And he's gonna get ready.
Yep. Do you remember when Infi was doing this to him once? It worked exactly once.
One time.
Yeah.
Yep, one time.
And then it was the same series. He tried it again and was absolutely brutalized when Infi tried to do it again. That's the level of adjustment that Happy is able to do in a series.
Yeah, the important thing here is always, when the orc tries to go for this lame style, they will try to distract, get money from pillage, and expand on their side of the map at the same time. So the number one priority is scout for expansion and prevent expansion. And then, of course, second priority, don't take too much damage from the Raider shenanigans.
Yeah. Okay. Happy scouts again. Like, my god. He knows every movement. He sees every decision. He can react to this in no time. But for Spiral, if he wants to go for this Zeppelin drop Raider lame, Warsong Battle Drums. Amazing. 7% damage boost on Raiders. When you don't really want to put a Kodo in the Zeppelin. That's a nice drop. Scroll of the Beast as well. Amazing.
Yeah, look. Exactly. He's got Scroll of the Beast as well. He might very well be able to brute force this Haunted Gold Mine. But I'm pretty sure Happy is going to scout for it. Would love for him to always have Zeppelins patrolling around, or rather skeletons, what I mean, patrolling around, which we should be expecting soonish.
You know, I casted one of the ESL Europe Cups not too long ago, and Hawk had a similar approach on Tidehunters that was, with a lot of tanks and dropping onto the Haunted Gold Mine, and Happy lost that Haunted Gold Mine 3, 4, 5 times, I think, while Hawk had an expansion. Guess who won that map at the end? It wasn't Hawk.
I think I got a pretty good idea. Skelly scouting everywhere. Over at the natural, over at the red camp. Here we go. This is the idea. Spy wants to set up the towers, secure this expansion.
Ooh, not
and then
good.
buy time. But
You just saw it.
there's so many Skellies here. Happy, yeah, you can just send over the Skellies. I'm gonna cancel these towers solo.
And he...
I don't even blame him, dude.
Nope.
I don't even blame him. This game was over, honestly.
They went for a Hail Mary, and even that Hail Mary got scouted super early on. That's yikes.
Yeah, that's a difficult series here for Spiral, trying to play outside of the box, outside of what's standard, and Happy's just reacting perfectly to it. Like, if Happy would just have a bad day once in a while, you know, just forget to scout once, maybe this could somehow, you know, find some momentum somewhere here and there, but he's just scouting perfectly, he's creeping as much as he wants, he catches headhunters in the early game. Honestly, I was surprised Spiral didn't even leave after those 4 headhunters died in the early game, and you know, sometimes it'd be like that. You can't get anything going, and you know, almost like, you know, you said you can't blame him. Well, I tell you what, I certainly can blame him, because I lost 5 times quicker than this when I played against Happy's Orc in the last Open Cup. So, yeah.
Oh, I saw that game. I had a good chuckle. We have a 3-minute break.
I'm enjoying my misery.
You know, a little bit. We have a little bit of a break, and then we have 3 match points in a row for Happy, who could just end this quarterfinal in record time. Afterwards, Blade vs. Craft. See you in a bit. Ladies and gentlemen, we're back at the DreamHack Open Fall for Europe. We are one map away from having our first semi-finalist. And to be honest, it's not looking good. It's not looking good for Spiral. He's with his back against the wall. He's down 2 maps. He has to win 3 maps in a row against the best player in Europe. And I said before, he needs support. Didn't get that on Northern Isles. And so, we have to summon a certain superhuman being that was not on this broadcast for the entire fall season, but here, that's how desperate we are. This is time for Coach Remo. Please, anything that could help Spyro now.
All right. Listen, Spyro, it's been a rough couple of maps so far. These 2 first ones, they were pretty one-sided, let's be real, but there's always a way to come back. Imagine now if you get this win over Happy, reverse sweep, you would be a legend. But, brother, please, stop with this cheesy nonsense. You're going up against the diligent player, the best European player. You're not gonna catch him off guard with Raider Lame and Liquid Fire Bats. That BS ain't gonna cut it. You need to play standard, you can't cut corners. And that's a very good standard strategy out there. Farseer Headhunters, fast tier 3, triple hero, creep up the map. It's really good. We have seen many orcs be very successful with it and also challenge Happy to the max, like many other undeads out there. This strategy is really good. It seems like you are trying to catch Happy off guard, but just play standard and trust in your own fundamentals. Cheesy surprises are not going to be good enough.
With the power of Coach Remo, the support of pretty much the entire community, and the home turf advantage of Concealed Hill, we move on to game number 3. It is match points for the Emperor. If that doesn't help, I don't know what does, Remo. I don't know what does. It is a Farseer build, but I'm missing a certain tech building here. There's no war mill.
Yeah, Spyro is going back to the basics, and especially on this map, I like it a lot. This is the build with which Spyro brought Happy to the limit in, say, at Home Story Cup, for example, before. Old school build, Farseer, tier 2 Expo with TC, and Grunt Raiders, and also some late game Headhunters. But especially on this map, you can creep Farseer pretty well up to level 3, be pretty strong there. And especially important, here with Grunts you can clear out the natural very easy, creep up the TC beyond that to level 3, and then take a decent fight. This is a strategy that can be really good if played with the right timings, and one that is hardly played by anybody else anymore. So, I like this strat. It comes as a bit of a surprise, but it's not a pure cheese. It's just a pretty solid strategy. However, we haven't seen it be victorious in a little while.
That's true. It was not too much grunt. It was all about the Headhunters. And you are watching Happy stream most likely more than anyone else in the world. So I see Happy.
Can I have a second? Just a second. Look at those skellies.
What?
He keeps them all on 10 HP.
Oh, wow.
For max creeping.
Yeah, that's pretty good. You're watching Happy stream more than probably anyone else in the world, so I got a feeling that he's scouting a lot more in this series against Spiral than he usually does against opponent that he might know better, like a Hawk or a Foggy, for example. Would you agree to that he plays in that regard a little careful?
Yeah, I think that's something that he's incorporated, especially against Orc a bit more recently. You remember that one loss in ESL Open Cup against Starshaped, where he didn't see the Expo in time? Mm-hmm. That really stayed with him, dude.
Yo.
That really stayed with him. He has been scouting for Expos non-stop against Orc since then. Because, yeah, an unchecked Expo can really catch you off guard. And he knows that as long as he keeps it even, Steven, one base, and he can move into the late game without a big disadvantage, he's gonna be in tip-top shape to win that game.
So far, Farseer got the last hit on the Acolyte that Happy wanted to deny, so a tiny little mini move that in every other series wouldn't matter is maybe a little bit like one thing that goes Spiral's way.
And he's gonna get level 3 here in a moment. Now he has an option to get cheesy here and go Chain Lightning 2 to try to kill Acolytes. He's got the speed scroll. Oh, but he was spotted by a Fiend. That's a bit unlucky. Happy can move back to the main right away. Also, the tech is almost finished, so Acolyte kills here wouldn't be too painful. Trying to summon the wolves into the back. It's not really gonna work. Oh. At least he doesn't get surrounded here, right?
Right?
Okay, no, he doesn't.
Okay.
Cost him a speed scroll.
He was waiting. He was waiting for. Oh no! He was waiting for the creeps to finish and give him level 3. Todd, you might get ready for your cast of Blade vs. Craft in a bit.
Dude, I was considering going to watch Suicide Squad tonight, but I thought it might be too late. But I think I'm gonna comfortably make it.
Oh.
I thought they were only playing movies in German. Isn't that what you told us?
No, I think I may have found some secret hidden showings in English.
Nice. At the sketchy back way alley cinemas. I get it.
Pod.
Well, that's a TP gone. No expo up, of course. No. Okay, there might be an attempt. But this is already so desperate again.
Happy rushing tier 3 here, delaying his second hero. This cost him a bit of lumber, having the ghouls involved and stuff, but the creepjack timing is perfect. And might be able to get a grunt right here. Where is the Shadow Hunter? Desperately needed. Must make use of that hex. But one grunt is certainly going down. And the creep is still up for grabs.
Whew, best of 5 in less than 50 minutes. Definitely possible. Saves that fiend for now. And Spiral does a good job keeping this grunt alive.
Didn't use the chain lightning there though. He could have gotten that fiend kill. Happy, I think, a bit surprised with seeing the Shadow Hunter, which right now is very good for the hex control. But again, this is no TC. You're gonna play with a tech disadvantage and with a hero that's not the TC, aka a weaker late game hero, because TC is the strongest late game hero. And once there's destroyers, yeah, Spiral's gonna have some problems. He needs to get some anti-air up real quick.
Well, he has a Raider, and Fascia and Shadowhunter can shoot. I'm not even trying. Yeah, so far, relatively smooth sailing for Happy. Maybe a little bit of an overcommitment, but also very calculated for him, of course, using that TP in the upper left. And now, Spiral, it's time for you to buy time and space and get an army up and probably try to lame again. But Happy just sees him coming every single time and can react perfectly.
Spiral's helping to catch Happy here sleeping. He knows he forced the TP, so if he catches him again and gets a DK surround, that might be the way to victory. That's the easiest way to win this game, but Happy is not giving him that window.
Do you think Happy ever sleeps? Not sure at this point.
Dude, I sure hope so. It would be scary if he did. Dude, do you remember that James Bond movie which was pretty trashy with Madonna? Don't forget what it's called, but there the villains didn't sleep and they would put on these dream masks. Because otherwise, without dreams, you go crazy.
What? Okay, yeah, that...
it was called Day Another Day, I believe.
No,
There was this evil villain base in Antarctica.
That's
classic movie.
That's a very new take on agent movies and stuff. But hey, yeah, we have a super villain here as well. But I think there might not be a happy end in this movie here.
In the end, there's some statues. That's very good. Taking them out would be absolutely huge. There's not much DPS here. Frost armor slowing everything down. The destroyer form upgrade is still not finished. But that statue is not gonna fall. One fiend also losing quite a bit of HP here. Still missing the chain lightning. We've not seen it much yet. Oh, and the grunt gets ensnared, which means that one is going down along with the other one. So 2 grunts and a raider dying for 1 statue. That is not what we call the best trade.
The destroyer is getting saved, or the statue is getting saved into a destroyer. Deals with the wolf, so Spiral's biggest strength is non-existent anymore. He saved a couple of raiders. That's nice. He's gonna need them very, very soon. He's getting more of them. And is pillage ready? No, not yet. But okay, he stays in this. Shows fighting spirit. He wants to challenge Happy. Wants to get creepjacks. Get for 1 minute out of his sight. But it's just... that alone is such a tough task already.
I'm not trying to be mean, but honestly, he looks a bit lost. He's just walking around the middle. Didn't creep the red camp. He was hoping for maybe a creep jack, but he's even too weak for a creep jack. He walks back to the lab, then realizes, wait a minute, I have to go back to the middle. I can't allow him to creep this. Now he's trying to creep jack. He just kind of wasted the last 3 minutes of this game being busy, killing one single statue and losing 1,000 gold for it. Gives us the item to Happy anyways, and he doesn't have a strong hero. He doesn't have a single strong hero in this fight. He just can't take that fight. The only hope he has is maybe killing the DK with a couple of end snares, but now we have the TP available on the DK as well, so that's not going to be a factor.
Yeah, big experience. Wyvern.
Rarely do you feel so hopeless for a person with 2 base, but it is the case here.
Just wait a minute or two, and then this 2-base situation will solve itself. Well, or
Yeah, that might
Happy
certainly be true.
Happy solves that 2-base situation. No tower, no reinforced defenses. Spiral with a couple of Kodos, 2 relatively weak heroes, weak fighting units, and maybe a little bit of hope.
5 Raiders about to run into Cloak of Flames and Nova and Orb Focus Fire without any healing. I think I know how this movie ends. Don't want to be the mean guy to spoil it to you, like someone did to me with the Sixth Sense, but yeah, it's only gonna go one way.
Oh my god, Wyvern are coming in for a little bit of extra damage, but okay, we get a couple of kills here thanks to Dust. Chain Lightning was used, but it is all Happy. Like this entire series was all Happy. This man is 7-0 in this tournament, and of course advances to